Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today I'm going to be discussing my Premier League strategy for the current in-season competition and moving forward into the new roadmap as well. So if you are new around here, if you could please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you haven't already, then please use the link in my bio, in the description below. And when signing up to Sorare and purchasing 5 cards off the auction house, you will also receive a free limited. That helps you out, and that will also help me out. So, with regards to the current Premier League in-season competition, as you all know, we have got about 12 game weeks left of the Premier League in-season competition. Now, this is probably the most competitive competition there is on Sorare at the moment, and we've seen that recently with the massive influx in the in-season player prices. But what is actually going to happen with the new roadmap, and how am I, as a lower budget tier Sorare player, actually going to strategize and try and make as much money from the Premier League competition as possible? So firstly, what we need to know is obviously with the current roadmap, as we all know, they are splitting the competitions up. So we're going to have the classic season competition, which is going to mean the current in-season cards, when the new season starts, obviously in August, will then become old season cards, and that will be utilised to win new in-season cards. And if you have in-season cards, then obviously, like at the moment, you can then utilise those in-season cards to win some money. So, when looking at the competitions that are coming up, so from March, actually, from the end of March, it's going to split to classic and in-season. So we're just focusing on Premier League today, and I'll bring out more strategy videos on the other leagues within themselves. But we have obviously got, like I said, about 12 game weeks left of the current Premier League in-season. And when looking at the current Premier League in-season, as you can see, I currently am utilising a Brighton stack. So we've got some of the old season goalkeepers, because obviously you can use one old season card within the in-season competition, and the goalkeepers are the most expensive cards. So I managed to pick up Bart last week for a nice price of £34.62, and if we're looking at his price at the moment, so the new season cards sold for £65, £60, 51 here. I don't think there's been an old season card that has actually sold since the one I bought. By the looks of things, there is not. So I picked up, obviously, when he was at Anderlecht. So the card that I have is actually less valuable because it's no longer in season, but it's still very useful for the current lineups that I have, because obviously, like I said, we can use an old season card within the new season as long as you have 4 new season cards. I then have some defenders, being obviously the main one, Paul Van Heck, with the crazy scores. Lamptey's done pretty well recently, hoping Estupinan can get back to his current form. In midfield, obviously one of the best cards in the game, Pascal Gross. When we look at his scores, just in general, like when you actually have a look at this guy, 5th best midfielder on the platform, 7th best player on the platform, and I mean the scores say it all. So he is going to do very, very well. Buonanotte, obviously nice and young, and Adam Lallana just there to help with the collection bonus. Danny Welbeck and Adingra as well. So as you can see, like I said, currently running the Brighton stack. But how is that going to affect me moving forward within the strategy, and what is my current strategy? So obviously currently I am playing with the new in-season Premier League, which when we're looking at the prize pool, obviously first place $2,000, second place $1,000, all the way down to 600th place at $5. So my current strategy is to make as much money as possible between the end of the Premier League in-season competition and now. So, for example, already this week, it's been an okay week. I won £5.14 when we look at the lineup. Put out the Brighton stack. Only 1 point off winning £7.80 when we look at that. But £5 return on the first week playing the in-season Premier League competition, which is very good. And my plan of action is going to be to save the funds I win from this competition, and then utilise whatever money I have saved up from the rest of this competition to buy the new in-season players when they get released in August for the competition. Now, when that does happen, all these players are going to be utilised in the Classic competition. Now, of course, I could sell them. I could actually make quite a good profit currently on the players I have. Most players are up by quite a decent margin at the moment when we look at certain individuals. For example, like Paul van Heek, I got him on an auction. Just here you can see my purchase for £30. When we look at his last auction was £32, last instant buy was £36, got all the way up to £45. And if he has another good game week, again, where scores peak, chances are his price is going to spike. So of course I could make quite a good return on these players that I have currently, and then from there utilise that money for more new season competition cards in August. But the plan of action is going to be, like I said, we're going to utilise the money I win from the current Premier League in-season competition to then invest in new season cards come August when they get minted, and then utilise my current Brighton stack in the Classic competition. Now, the Classic competition obviously is going to be split up, and we are going to be able to win in-season reward cards. So the plan of action would be that hopefully come a few weeks into the game cycle, the Classic competition has rewarded me enough game cards and I've won enough money from this week, these next few weeks, in order to then go into new season and be playing both, where I'll be winning cash rewards and also card rewards that I could obviously sell on depending on the card if I want to utilize them within my team or not. Now, also something very key that I think a lot of people have overlooked is the multi-system entry. So obviously we have divisions where the division is going to be split up, so it doesn't mean you have to reach that top upper echelon threshold in order to actually get the best rewards. Of course, you are going to want to get the best rewards at the top of that threshold. However, just being in the contender, even if you're in the top percentage in Division 3, Division 2, you're still going to get some pretty good rewards. But the main thing I wanted to discuss was also the thing that's been massively overlooked is the multi-entry system. Okay, so the issue and why I decided to choose the Brighton stack is when we actually look at the players themselves, mainly the goalkeepers, there's a lot of rotation within the team, which is why the player price is probably a lot lower, because no one really knows when Bart's going to play or when Jason's going to play. I don't even think the manager knows. So when we look at that, there's a bit of and on the line of which line out do you put out, which is the best. But the benefit of the new system moving forwards is we're going to have multi-team entry, where you are going to be able to put in multiple of the same teams. Like it says, submit up to 3 teams in the same competition, which means I can have Bart and my full Brighton stack in that team, and then I can put Jason in and the full Brighton stack in that team as well, which is going to help massively in case one of them doesn't play or in case the other one does play. And that's just going to also mean I have, actually, because there's 3 entries, I'm going to be able to have 3 attempts at winning either an old season, a new minted card, or a new season, some ETH and some money. Because when we look at it, you can see, like here, it's go 2 teams in Bundesliga Division 4 and another team in Bundesliga Division 1, which is going to massively help with the amount of lineups you can play, but also the amount of competitions you're able to enter, which is going to mean you have more chance of winning rewards. At the end of the day, that is what we want. We want to make profit on our return. So that is going to be my Premier League strategy. I'll be bringing over some other tips and tricks and some other strategies. But like I said, the strategy moving forward is to win as much money playing the current in-season, then utilise that money in August to buy new in-season cards. And with my now in-season cards that will become old season cards, play the Classic competition in order to also win new season cards to play within the new season and make more money. And it's just going to be a rinse and recycle, especially if they keep this type of structure in place moving forwards over the whole Sorare year cycle, which is something I'm very, very looking forward to. Obviously, end of March is really when this is going to change. So there is a little screen just here. 29th of March is, as you can see, the introduction of in-season and classic season formats. So we'll be able to test the actual system, play around with the trial, and actually see how it works before obviously moving it into August. But that is going to be my Sorare Premier League strategy moving forwards. If anyone has any questions or any recommendations, then drop them down in the comments below. Once again, thank you for watching the video. Please like and subscribe. And like I said earlier, if you utilize the link in the description below to sign up to Sorare and purchase 5 cards from the auction house, you will also receive a free limited card, and so will myself, and it's just helping each other out. So thank you once again, and look out for the next video.